BMW X8 to rival Range Rover. The BMW X8 SUV is likely to be the brand's highest-priced model when it is launched around 2020. It will be pitched as a coupe-styled rival to the Range Rover and upcoming Audi Q8 and could compete in fully loaded guise against low-end versions of the Bentley Bentayga, Lamborghini Urus and Rolls-Royce Cullinan. BMW's head of development, Klaus Fro, wouldn't confirm plans to push BMW into an even higher price segment with the X8, but he did say such a car was under evaluation and the idea of it held strong appeal. "The sector is growing fast, so there will be opportunity," said Fro. "It is early to talk about X8, but one of the first decisions I made when I worked on product strategy was to take the X5 and make the X6. Everyone said it was not necessary, but it worked. Now we have the X2, X4 and X6. They are emotional and sporty derivatives that work for us. There is room for X8, especially in markets like China, but there are no decisions yet. Each car must have a distinct character, and these are the sort of areas that take time to evaluate." Discussions are believed to center on the platform structure the X8 would need and whether it should be a coupe version of the X7, which was revealed at the Frankfurt Motor Show and goes on sale in the middle of 2018. Or a long-wheelbase version of that car, which would free up additional rear space and allow for a sweeping roofline. Either way, the X8 is likely to have the option of 4 or 5 seats across 2 rows, rather than the X7's 7 seats and 3 rows. As such, the emphasis will be on delivering luxurious rear seat travel, with the materials and finishes chosen to further that goal, rather than being focused on outright practicality. While the latter idea is said to be favored by many, it potentially adds complexity to the project as it may require the car to be built on a hybrid mix of BMW's Car modular platform, which underpins the firm's other X models, and the Cullinan's new aluminium structure in order to achieve rigidity without adding too much weight or cost. The decision on how sweeping to make the roofline is said to hinge around the need for the rear seats to be commodious, given that the X8 is likely to be chauffeur-driven for many owners, and how much differentiation is required to give the car a unique character from the X7. Achieving coherent styling of the sweeping roofline without bringing down the roof height ahead of the boot line will inevitably be problematic. The X7's dimensions in comparison to rivals suggest there is room for a longer version in the lineup. It is 5,020 mm long with a wheelbase of 3,010 mm, while the Mercedes-Benz GLS is 5,131 mm long and has a wheelbase of 3,076 mm. A Range Rover is 4,999 mm long and has a wheelbase of 2,922 mm in standard form. Power is likely to come from the same powertrains as for the X7, although the sales focus in China, Russia and the Middle East may mean that initial offerings are confined to higher-powered petrol or plug-in petrol-electric hybrid drivelines. Given those target markets, the possibility of a V12 engine X8, powered by the 592 bhp, 590 pounds-foot 6.6-liter unit that is found in the 7 Series, is highly likely. The petrol-electric hybrid powertrain is believed to be derived from the same setup as that used by the 740e xDrive Performance, with a turbocharged 2.0-liter 4-cylinder engine operating in combination with an electric motor in the forward section of the gearbox housing, albeit with a larger capacity battery to give a 62-mile electric range. Related stories. BMW Concept X7i Performance revealed. BMW X6 review. BMW X3 review. It can't look like that. The real finished one. It can't look like that. Can it? How many more of these ridiculous fat cars do we need? Ironically, BMWs have less character than ever. The world doesn't need the X6, what on earth is the X8 for? They just can't build a nice-looking SUV. It's that horrid grille again. In the minority here, but I love it. I say that BMW should build both, for if they do the X8 and not a long-wheelbase X7, they risk leaving that money on the table for the aftermarket to take. Sadly, I fear that a long wheelbase or stretched version of the X7 may hurt sales of similar versions of the 7 Series. All that being said, now more than ever does JLR need to put a full-size J-Pace into production. This way Range Rover may remain the standard of luxury for both off and on-road, while the J-Pace, with style and sporty driving dynamics, can more directly compete with the growing crop of all-weather, road-biased full-size SUVs that are coming to market. The decision on how sweeping to make the roofline is said to hinge around the need for the rear seats to be commodious, given that the X8 is likely to be chauffeur-driven for many owners. This is not an inherent problem but a problem entirely of BMW's own making, that is to make a huge car and decide to give it a coupe roof. Shame on you BMW, and zero sympathy from me. Given how BMW stick to their styling rulebook, it's not going to look much different, is it? Utterly hideous. My word, that's hideous. Since that days of Bengal BMW have been trying to be more challenging, but this is a step too far.